is Andrew Tobias. He's a governor and politics reporter at Signal, Ohio. Andrew, welcome to the show. It's the same you. It's a new byline. Do you feel like a new man in the second Trump administration?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I kind of feel like the same guy as I did before, but something that's nice about my new job is that I don't have to do as much breaking news and stuff like that. So I have more time to, I guess, do podcast interviews on Fridays and stuff like that.
I love that. I love that for us. I don't know if I love it for you. Um, so, so, so I want to talk to you about two things that are sort of on our minds, which is one, artificial intelligence, which seems to have a long shadow on Ohio, but also the election of your next governor and your next senator. And these are huge events for our species. Like I'm thinking especially AI, but I'm going to guess like I hear Taylor Swift is getting married to Travis Kelce this summer. Is that in fact the biggest thing that's going on in Ohio right now?
Unfortunately, it's not happening in Ohio. It's happening in New York City, I think. So there was actually betting odds on that. Some people might have lost their money. Some people are disappointed about that one. But yeah, I would say that's definitely like the thing that the social event of the year in Ohio, even though it's not happening here.
Very sad, but as someone who is from Middle America too, I know that we lose our best sons and daughters to the big coastal cities. So this is a story that's been going on for a while.
Yep.
Hey, remember to check out Polymarket. They are back in the US. Just visit polymarket.us for the world's biggest prediction market. And remember, fam, this is not financial advice. Eventual is just for informational purposes. Okay, so before we talk about Vivek Ramaswamy and Sherrod Brown and John Husted and all these kind of big characters in Ohio, can we just talk about I and we at Eventual are obsessed with politicians, AI, and angry constituents. And I wanted to quote a piece that one of your colleagues, Jake Zuckerman, wrote, and to try and get a little scoop from you out of it. Are you okay speaking for Jake a little bit and giving
Yeah,
us
sure.
some of your own? Okay, cool. So Jake recently wrote a piece. The headline was "Ohio Republicans Back Effort to Kill a Beefy Tax Credit for Data Centers." So he's reporting kind of live from the Capitol and quote, "Lawmakers around 10 p.m. Wednesday nixed a vote on a data center package, aborting efforts to eliminate or lower a tax break that saved big tech $2 billion last year. The legislation would have reduced the size of any new tax breaks to data centers, although it wouldn't impact any existing exemptions or abatements. Its implosion indicates either a political inability or unwillingness to cut a lucrative tax break for players behind the meteoric artificial intelligence industry." So like nationally, we follow everything through prediction markets. There is a prediction that about a 50% chance of a state banning data center construction this year, a moratorium. And I just saw that you guys had a group that tried to put something on the ballot, a constitutional amendment to do something that approximates this. And I just sort of wonder, like, what are the odds, what are the odds of a Republican legislature endorsing an anti-AI measure? What are the odds in Ohio alone that in the next, year we see a data center moratorium pick up steam? Like, is this a serious thing we should be watching?
So at the local level, it's definitely become more popular. I think Ohio might have actually had one of the first local moratoriums. It was in the suburban Columbus area, which is where all the hyperscalers kind of came first.
Yeah.
But as far as a state ban goes, I'll start with the amendment thing because that's a little bit simpler of an answer. So that's just a citizens group. Ohio has ballot access laws where you're able to get ballot issues kind of directly from citizens, but they have to collect something like 425,000 valid signatures to do it, and they have to do it in half the state's 88 counties. And so that usually costs like $5 to $10 million if you hire a petition firm. And if it's something that we have a different amendment campaign that's trying to abolish property taxes. And that would be if they manage to collect the signatures, which they've been working on it for like a year and they still haven't done it. That would be the first campaign that I can think of that's successfully done something like this. So it's just to say it's very hard to actually qualify for the ballot and have the resources that it takes to do that. So that amendment is an interesting symptom of the political backlash, but I don't think it's very viable unless somehow a bunch of money were to be injected into it. At the state legislative level, I don't see that happening either. What you kind of have a weird mix, and this is probably true in other states, I assume it is, that you have elements of the Republican and Democratic Party constituencies who are both in favor of data centers. On the Republican side, it's just like the Chamber of Commerce Republican stuff, we're pro-business, blah, blah, blah. And then on the Democrat side, there's just been an explosion in building trades membership because of the construction boom that has resulted from all these data centers being built. And the building trades here have started gravitating more towards Republicans, but they're still really important campaign contributors to Democrats. And I think Democrats still think that they're the party of like the working man and all of that stuff. So like, I think that stuff.
So is it? But like, is there unmet demand here? Because this is the thing that keeps coming up. Is it seems like there are a lot of college students like walking out on Larry Page or whoever. There are a lot of people tweeting online. There are a lot of grassroots efforts, but there just seems like there's no political movement that exists to capture and channel this angst. But like, is your message that there actually is not that much angst in Ohio about this? Like, it's just sort of predictable. This is the new version of tree hugging, or this is the new version of laissez-faire trickle-down economics, and like we've seen this story before? Or do you think that this is actually like a different type of story that's building in Columbus now?
So there is definitely a lot of local concern about this. It's just that there's institutional impediments to that voter anger actually translating into action, whether it's like just disagreements within the parties, or whether it's just like elements of both parties that are just kind of dragging their feet on it. Like, this is something that you could see a Democrat kind of pick up and run with. And Sherrod Brown recently came out in support of ending that data center tax break. But they just haven't like picked the ball up and really ran with it as like being an anti-data center candidate. So no, it's not that there's not local opposition. I just don't think that there's will within the major parties to do something with it. So what would have to change is that some big financial interest would have to fund that constitutional amendment campaign, or they would have to get so organized that they would have to collect, the signatures, hundreds of thousands from across the state, which it is possible. It's just going to take a really long time if they manage to do it at all.
It sounds like you'd be pretty short Ohio's portion of that sort of coin flip, that we have a major state banning data center construction.
I don't see it happening here right now. Like, it's possible things change, but yeah, that's how I see it.